Okay, we're good to go.
Okay. Hello, everyone. Welcome to our first informal pickleball session. We have some ORC staff here, as well as a great group of members. Thank you all very much for carving out some time to sit with us, to hear about our plans, for submitting your questions. So let's get started. First off, looks like we're going straight to the presentation. In attendance, at least insofar as the ORC staff, we have first off, we have Mr. Paul Morell, the Chief Operating Officer here at ORC. We also have Martina Hurling, our Clubhouse Manager, Nicole Crew, Fitness and Family Activities Director, Albert Fong, Pickleball and Badminton Coach, as well as Alan Cook, our Squash Director and all-round good time. And me, myself, my name is Bill Stepik. I'm the Director of Marketing and Communications. First off, if you have any questions at all during this presentation, please type it into chat. If you're not sure how to access chat, just move your mouse over the window or tap on the screen, and it should be one of the options either along the side or across the bottom. Type your messages in there, and we will break every so often to address your questions. So with all that said, thanks again for being here. Let's get started. Paul?
Thank you, Bill. Welcome, everyone. I think it's an exciting time when we can put together a session here when we're talking about pickleball here at the ORC. As many of you know, we've had pickleball here at the club for about 6 years, and it has grown steadily throughout that time. One of the things that we've noticed, though, while we've gone through this pandemic is that pickleball, it continues to grow. And pickleball is obviously a fun sport and something that we are very committed to here at the ORC. So I got a few stats here from some of my American colleagues, so please bear with that. But just we hear that, we understand how great pickleball is and how it's growing. And 10 years ago, and these are American stats, but 10 years ago, only 250,000 people were playing it. Today, we're seeing 5.1 million people playing it. And within the next 2 to 3 years, 8 million people playing pickleball. I think an interesting thing here within the next 10 years, pickleball could be the #1 racket sport in all the states. And obviously in Canada here, we mirror a lot of the things that happens with our American counterparts. So a lot of people, we have an agenda here tonight, and I'll ask a few people to speak. Like Bill had mentioned, if you have any questions, please put it in the chat and we will address those at the end. Or if it comes up during the meeting at any point we can interject, then Bill will stop and let us know. So first I wanted to talk about our future plans here at the ORC. So right now we're obviously using the sport court, and it's served us okay for the past several years, but we're looking at what we can do with pickleball in the future. So I know that everybody wants to hear that we have full-size courts and we have them today. Unfortunately, that's not the case, but we are prepared to look at many options going forward and how we can expand pickleball here at the ORC. I have been in consultation with several bubble companies, as well as court contractors and general contractors, to look at possible sites on the ORC property to build a pickleball specific facility. About a week ago, the staff that you see on the call here today met with one of the contractors, and we did a site walk, and we're looking at where we can put things in. Our shareholders and owners are very committed to pickleball, and they've asked us to explore how we can expand pickleball and how we can build a facility to meet the needs of our members. We're also seeing that we've had an influx of more pickleball players coming from our squash department. because squash has been very hit with what's going on in the pandemic. Their sport has had a lot of barriers. So thus the reason to find more space for pickleball. It's not without barriers. I mean, we are going to have to find viable space on our current plot of land. We are kind of fenced in on all sides, and parking will be an issue with that. But it's something that we're committed to finding a solution to, and hopefully we can add several courts that will help pickleball grow in the future. So one of the questions a lot of people asked that, when are we going to have full-size courts, and how are we going to accommodate full-size courts here? And I would say one of the tough things is the common comment has been, well, how about all the tennis courts that we have? The tough thing is right now that tennis is a very full sport as well, and our availability to the tennis courts, we're at max capacity right now. That being said, we want to find some compromise, and there are some evenings that we can make 2 pickleball courts on the tennis courts, and we're looking at doing that Monday through Friday on court 9. Nicole was out there today taping it, testing it out, and it looks like we will have that available. Later on in the presentation, I'll turn it over to Nicole, and she'll talk about availability of that court as well. I think at this point, Bill, has anybody put any questions up in the chat, or anybody want to know anything that we haven't touched?
No questions yet, but thank you so much for asking.
Thanks, Bill. I like to, I just wanted to convey, like, yeah, we really are serious about pickleball. And I think sometimes that message may not have been conveyed down to everybody that's in pickleball. And we want to let you know that it is top of mind, and hopefully within a very short time, we'll be able to go further with it. So I'd like to turn it over to Nicole right now, Nicole Crew, and she will talk about some of the things she's done with availability and the schedule now.
I think Nicole's muted.
Okay.
Thank you.
Sorry about that, Nicole.
That's okay. I just don't know what the universal sign is for unmute me. Okay, so when we're talking pickleball, lots of exciting things are happening. Right now, as we all know, there are 3 pickleball courts in the sport court. With some rejigging and fitness being closed and being open, I've been able to move some of the kids' clinics, try to ensure that courts are available. So just to remind everyone, if you did want to book your own space, your own court, to play on Monday, for example, you always have the early mornings. You have anywhere from 1:30 to 5:30. So hopefully those are prime times to play. On a Tuesday, you'd have 12:30 to 5:30, which again is a great time. You have 2:30 to 5:30 on a Wednesday, and on Thursday, 2:30 to 5:30, and on Friday, anytime after 2:30, because one of the clinics I'm able to squeeze onto half the court. So you would actually have on a Friday anywhere from 2:30 to close. On Saturday, I was just talking with Albert before we started this. Normally the sport court is available after 4 o'clock, but now it looks like we do have competitive drop-in between 1:30 and 3. So there is space available in there too, if you would like to play Saturday afternoon, which is wonderful. And then if not, you can always have it from 4 o'clock onwards after our badminton clinic. And Sundays are phenomenal as well. After 12:30, you're able to play 12:30 to close. So those are the pickleball courts inside the sport court right now. In speaking to tennis court 9, so Albert, myself, and one of my staff, we were out and we were taping the court. So it's lengthwise. So you have one pickleball court on one side of the tennis court, one pickleball court on the other side. It is official size. We've double checked. You have it white line taped off. There'd be 2 nets that are out there that just need to be pulled onto the court where we have the markers. And then away you go and you play. So this is available Monday to Friday between 8 p.m. and 11 p.m. So we do want to try this as an awesome pilot project to see what we can do to offer our members. if that's something of interest, we really hope that you can take advantage of that. And then it does look like over the Christmas holiday, we would for sure have tons of time and space available. All the clinics and all the things that go on in the sport court, that ends the week of December 14th. So that would be December 20th. And then we have those 2 weeks where a lot's open in the sport court that could be available too. And then come January, I've done a reshuffle of the kids clinics in the sport court to allow for more time. I'm sorry, this is a lot of times and numbers. So as an example, on a Monday, you could have the sport court for booking anytime in the afternoon up until 5 o'clock. So just trying to push those times to a little bit later. Tuesday in the afternoon, anytime until 5, as well as 6:15 to 7:30. Wednesday afternoon up until 5, Thursday afternoon up until 5, as well as 6:15 to 7:30 again. Friday 2:30 to close. Saturday after 4, but we'll see what happens with the afternoon. Hopefully we can make that available too, as well as Sunday anytime after 12:30 to close. So again, I know it's a lot I'm throwing out there, just trying to pay attention to those busy times and those times that people want to play. That being said, we're, as you all are amazing at, we're a very welcoming community too. So if you are a squash player or not sure where you might fit in, there are a lot of clinics that are happening right now because pickleball has been viable to play during the pandemic, that we can definitely either create clinics, get you in on a group to be able to play, and just to be able to give people the opportunity to get out there. So that's the availability in a nutshell. These times right now have been booked through me so that I can address people's needs. For example, Judy Ross literally was just asking me if she can book Saturday afternoon before 4 o'clock, and we were able to make accommodations for that. So to make it convenient, we are looking to make it that you can call the front desk and or on the app be able to book the court so that you can see the availability on there. So hopefully that helps everybody out with feeling a part of a great department that you can join clinics, you can play with friends, and just be a part of the fun.
Just to get into a few questions I see showing up on the chat. Once all this is ready to be deployed, of course, all of this will go in the newsletter as well as on the Pickleball website, or the Pickleball section of the website. And court number 9 is actually one of the first ones in the first bubble. Additionally, I have Mr. Ralph Gardner asking if we can speak a little more about the options being considered for expanding the pickleball facility.
Sure, I can address that. So, I mean, our goal is to create enough space for as many pickleball courts as we can. Ideally, we like to see it to be an indoor-outdoor facility where in the summer you can play outdoors and then bubble it in some formation in the winter. Now we are in the preliminary stages and we're still trying to figure out how many courts can we add to the property, and 2, is a bubble a viable solution, or do we have to do it as a separate building? So we're trying to sort those things out based on bylaws and our committee of adjustments and our parking and things like that. I have talked to 2 different types of bubble companies. One company is our current bubble provider that does our tennis bubbles, so we're very familiar with them, and they are the, I guess, the leaders in bubbles for North America when it comes to facilities. And we're also looking at another solution as well, which is kind of an up-and-comer in the industry. I know that's a little vague right now, but our goal is to create as many pickleball courts as possible, full length, regulation size, and have it in a space that can be dedicated to pickleball so you can enjoy it and not just be in the sport court. So hopefully that helps answer that question a little bit.
Thanks, Paul. I was also hoping that somebody could speak a little more to the timing. Donna in the chat was asking or observed that 8 p.m. is a little on the later side and was wondering what options there are, or what daytime pickleball players can expect, or what we might offer them.
So if you're looking at daytime, and again, this is daytime, we can speak to the sport court. So daytime, when we're talking about the sport court, you have anywhere from open until 8:45 in the morning. And then after that, this is speaking for right now, at least, because again, schedule does change for January. And then after that, we have anywhere from 1:30 until 5:30 in the afternoon. So again, a sport court might not be available because we could have a 9:30 to 11 pickleball clinic and then another 11 to 12:30 pickleball clinic. So we're just working around some of the pickleball clinics, but this will all be available on the app for you to be able to book. I don't want to go over all the individual specific ones, but there's definitely a lot. We're totally expanding, and we're at over 50 hours a week for court time just in the sport court alone.
Now, specifically, Donna's wondering about the full-size court on court 9. Can we speak as to why we can't offer that at an earlier time?
I can handle that. So I think one of the tough things with taking over tennis court is right now we're at full capacity with tennis as well. So we are booking our tennis court, all courts, all 15 of them from early in the morning till that 8 o'clock at night. So we're trying to find some kind of way to test out pickleball on those. But I understand it's not the most ideal for all the pickleball players, but I think it is a start to try to see if we can use that until we can find a viable solution. It's tough because, you know, tennis was deemed a safe sport early on in the pandemic, and we are quite full in that section as well. So now we're trying to compete for space, and we're trying not to take away one of their facilities, but we're trying to see if we can coexist and find times around the prime times there. So.
Okay, great. Thanks, Paul. I have Carly asking what actions we're taking to make pickleball COVID safe.
Well, with the entire facility, we're you know, obviously we have our cleaning priorities and protocols. We do screen everyone, as everybody knows, and I think you've seen all these things come up in our letter. We also do clean the sport court on a regular basis, as well as our general cleaning. We have improved our filter system and all our HVAC systems throughout the building. That's not just specifically for pickleball, but we have upgraded our filters. And then just our standard protocol that applies throughout the building applies to that space as well. So that's where I'd say where we're all with that. I think one of the things when we get compared to other clubs and what we're doing and how we're viewed, we're obviously taking as many steps as possible to make it as safe as possible. I know I've said many times that as a club, we can't eradicate the virus, but we can take the steps that we do to help minimize the exposure. And obviously every member that comes through the club has to assess their own risk when they come into the club. But I mean, we have definitely ramped up our cleaning protocols. We have replaced a lot of our filters down there, not all of our filters to be an upgraded filter. And then we're trying to have our members wear the master of the building, social distance, and all the regular protocols that we have.
Some more coming in time.
Lovely, thank you. And I'm being asked if we are allowing members to invite guests to play pickleball.
Martina, do you want to answer that one?
Well, with the recent changes this week, unfortunately, we are having to limit guests to same household, but we are hopeful as our rules and restrictions change with the region of Peel that will change as well.
Yeah, we keep getting surprised with legislation. We had 3 legislation changes last week, and you know, it keeps us on our toes. So we're trying our best to make the club as accessible as possible under the rules without compromising any of the protocols.
Thanks, guys. I have a great question from Joe here. how can we help the pickleball community create compatible groups outside of clinics? Specifically, Joe is talking about something similar to the block bookings that tennis players have enjoyed for a long time. He's not a competitive player. He doesn't want to play on a ladder. He's just looking for some fun with compatible players.
Well, I can speak to it a bit, and Albert can speak to it as well. We've genuinely been talking over the next couple of weeks, coming up with rating our members, but in good nature of rating our members, so that if you did want to find like ability members, so that you could play with them, you could have it that, yeah, you play every Friday at 5 o'clock, whatever you want to organize. And it is more fun when you do play against players who are at a similar level to you. So it's something that we're going to be looking at over the next 2 to 3 weeks so that we can expand people's fun.
Bill, I saw a question come up there that we totally forgot to answer, and I think it's a very important one. Somebody was asking, forgive me, I didn't see who posted it, but what are the fees going to be on Court 9?
Yeah, sorry, Nella.
Court 9 will be free. So it is a trial. We'll allow it to be free for you because we know it's not the optimum time for everybody playing, but we will not charge any court fees on Court 9 when you use it. Nicole, would you be able to speak to league play?
For sure. We were talking about creating on Saturdays. This would be looking more towards Saturday, November 28th for 4 weeks, to be able to start a league for 4 to 7 o'clock. You would play once a week on Saturday. Anytime would be between 4 and 7. This would be a doubles league, just so that we can get people out and playing. And, you know, you play best 2 out of 3 or 3 out of 5, depending on how quick or how slow your matches might go, just to have it so that maybe you can intermix and meet more people. And we can't really have socials right now, which is always too bad, but something else that we could do to ensure that we're helping our members interact and create more fun with meeting new groups of people and new doubles teams. So we'll be looking at that over the next couple of weeks, and you'll see more information on it.
Thanks.
It could be a possibility to do the league on the tennis court. When we do the Saturday league play, is it possible to do it on the tennis court and tape it? So we have just like the social event.
We do have a booking that takes up. We have a league that's already participating on that night, but we can. I think what we're talking about, Nicole, the timing was 4 to 7, I believe, for the leagues. So we can look at things for the future, but right now that is that those times are booked up because we looked at how many availability we have. We do have an event that, or not an event, but we do have some other league play that occurs at that time as well. Albert, would you be able to talk about all the clinics and drop-in sessions that you're doing?
Sure. Yep. So one way to get to play is to book a court with your friends. You get 3 more people, then you have a doubles game. The other way is to join the club programs, the organized play programs. And you can find all those programs in the program guide. And Bill put that in the last page of the program guide. He leaves the best at the end. So those programs are 7-week cycle. Usually when it come out, it's very popular. It gets filled up very quickly, especially the daytime session. If you were to book a court at the sports court, it will be the same price as you join the program. However, the biggest difference is if you join this type of organized play program, you have many other players to play with, and there's rotations going on. So each session is run independently and is competitive. Either I will use an up and down format or a ladder format, so the players are rotate regularly over that 1.5 time period. The goal is for everybody have that during that 1.5 hours, have fun, nobody waiting. And I'm also there to fill in if there's an odd number, I will play him, I will give you some tips. It's also very flexible in a sense that you can think of the 7-week program as 7 drop-ins. You sign up for 7 times instead of, sign up every single time and every week. And if you cannot play in a certain week, we have 10 to 12 sessions per week. So it can be easily accommodated and switch you to another session for the makeup. If you cannot commit the whole thing, you can also email me on a sub list type of thing. So if there is opening, you can come in and join as a drop in. So it's pretty flexible. And then the great thing, as I said, is this is actually the backbone of the entire pickleball program. That's how it started. And that's how everywhere in the pickleball community start the program. It's very different in a sense compared to tennis and squash, because tennis and squash is more individual sports. When they first start, you play singles and doubles, you book a court. But pickleball is very unique in a sense that when it starts, it's very sociable. Like they want to just book one time slot and everybody come to that time slot and play. So that's how the pickleball community developed.
If people want to get information about upcoming clinics and drop-ins, Albert, where should they go?
They can look first. They can check the program guide and see the time. They can also email me if they're interested in certain times. If I have room, I can accommodate them easily. The other thing is, if the people new to pickleball and you want to have some friends gather together, I can run a drop-in for you, like a special round robin, and teach you how to play, give you some tips. We're very, very flexible in that sense. And you pay exactly the same amount as you would book a court.
Great, thank you.
And I have done a lot of these before. Like, you just get another 11 friends and then we play at the do a round robin session for you.
Thank you.
That's actually is a very good way to get into pickleball. On the issue about safety, I want to share an experience with you guys. Since we opened in June, I've always put on a mask when I play. It's not mandatory, but I find that that's a good way to protect yourself and other members. And I saw a study just recently from ctvnews.ca. There's a Canadian study saying that wearing a mask actually would not hinder your breathing. It's perfectly fine. It's okay. And I have been doing it, and for days, sometimes 3 hours, I wear a surgical mask to play. There's no problem at all. It's something that we might want to think about it when you play. Wear a mask. If you can wear a mask, wear a mask. It's protect you and protect your neighbors.
Thanks so much, Albert. Paul, what's left on the agenda?
Well, I think if there's any questions that people have, we'd be happy to answer it. If there's any additional questions. I know that our focus tonight was to talk about some of the future plans and reconfirm that we have a big interest in pickleball here at the club. But if anybody has an additional question, we'd be happy to answer it.
Do we have a timeline as to when we might hear more about the future plans?
I'd love to announce it tomorrow, but we're still working through that. I mean, obviously nothing will be built over the winter time. I think our best case scenario for being able to build would be the spring, but we have to see where we're at. I mean, we are in the preliminary stages. We're still trying to work with our contractors and come up with a firm plan. We do have some drawings of some scenarios that could house either 4 to 6 courts, but we still have to figure out how that'll work with inside our boundaries. So unfortunately today I can't give you a timeline, but I'm hoping it can be as soon as possible.
Miss Maureen?
Everything okay, Al? Good. Okay, any other questions while we have the group together? And in that case, thank you so much for showing up, everyone. I wish we could have you all sitting in a room in person, but it's great to have you on Zoom regardless. Ooh, I see that Donna is asking if more clinics for lessons, group lessons could be offered.
Yeah, that actually was in the plan. In the winter, I will be offering lessons, and the lessons will be skills and drills combined. So the lessons will be to help you through the drills to develop certain skills that is unique to pickleball or requiring pickleball, such as the third shot, drop shot, or sustained thinking, all that stuff. It will be in the winter. In the meantime, if you want lesson, you can also contact me. We offer private lessons, semi-private lessons, group of 3, group of 4.
And sorry, Albert, I also have Joe asking about ratings, when someone might get theirs.
The next 3 weeks.
Okay, so in the winter, I changed the organized play sessions a little bit. There are three different types. One is the advanced players. Second one is intermediate, and the third one is all level. Basically, the rating is based on the International Federation Pickleball and Pickleball Canada curriculum, of which I'm also involved in the working group for Pickleball Canada in coming up with the curriculum to be certified under NCCP. So basically the way it works is we look at certain skills that is required for pickleball to be successfully played and the strategy, and look at all these as evidence and determine your rating. The rating is kind of very similar to tennis. So 5, from 5, starting 5, the highest you go down. As a beginner, total beginner with no racket speed experience would be like 1.0 to 5.0. So the advanced meaning that anybody is 4.0 up, intermediate is most of the players are intermediate 3.5. And all level means that it can be a combination of 2.5 to 5 is all more social. But each session, as I said, is run competitively. It's just that you put people of similar skills together, so it will be, more fun. And there are 2 ways we can do the ratings. You can self-rate yourself. I have all the skills regarding each rating that you can look at. You can self-rate yourself, or you can request. I can assess you too. And these information will be out very soon, probably around the Christmas holiday. I will be doing lots of drop-in, and so you will get information from me as to how the ratings work. You can rate it yourself, or you can request an assessment. The great thing about the rating is it gives you a benchmark, and so you can see where you are at and how you can improve.
Okay, great. Thanks, Albert. And just to add to that, we will have our full set of winter 2021 programming coming out in the next 2 weeks. So definitely keep an eye out for that. You'll see a program, you'll see Pickleball rather, right in that special spot at the back page, just for you guys and Albert.
Thank you.
Actually, Joe is piping up just a little bit to say that if they were to go into the US, they'd like to have official ratings. Are you able to speak to that at all, Albert?
I'm not sure you can bring your Canadian rating into US. I have checked into that. But the rating that I'm going to use is from International Federation of Pickleball. So it's very similar. That's what American use. And they are very, very specific. So basically into more detail is we look at all the skills for pickleball, starting from serve and return, forehand, backhand, drop shot, third shot, drop shot, thinking skill, volley, and strategy. So at each particular rating or level, you have to meet certain requirements, for your forehand or for your drop shot type of thing. It's a scale. So a 4.0 meaning that you have all the skills and you starting to be consistent. A 5.0 meaning that you have all the skills and you are super, super consistent and with high level of accuracy and, consistency. It's a range. It's look at different types of skill that require to play pickleball, and it's a range. It doesn't mean that, you are good or not good. It's just a standard, a way for you to look at yourself, where you are compared to other people.
Okay, great. Thanks so much, Albert. So with that, unless anyone has any other questions that they can type into the chat in the next 15 seconds, I would like to thank everyone once again for coming. This entire broadcast will be saved and made available to members, both yourselves, if you want to watch it for all the fun memories, or members who were unable to attend. We'll make sure that gets out. Additionally, certainly all the timing and the various details that we spoke about tonight will be in the newsletter and other various places for your convenience. So thank you once more to Paul, Martina, Nicole, Albert, and Al for coming out tonight. Thank you most of all to all the members in attendance, and we bid you adieu. Thanks so much, everyone.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.